I've been having the worst conversations with people in the last few days. It is not good out there. People are cutting jobs all over. First it was all the construction workers. Now it's the consultants, right? And then, from there it'll be more consultants and more consultants. And it's not looking good right now for any segment. Like even the high end stuff. I was on a call today, and not that I needed to be on the call to know, but like these tariff things have just put everybody into such a state of uncertainty that the market is as frozen as it can get, I think, right now. Like, unless you're saying, unless you have to transact right now, there's very few people that are moving forward if they don't have
Look,
to.
March 2020. All right. March and April 2020. The world was coming to an end.
Good times.
Everybody was talking about COVID and, what was going on in Italy and Spain and all these type of things. And it was just like, if this is going to come to us and we're all going to die, that's basically what we were all thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
But there were still people back then who needed to buy and sell. And lo and behold, yours truly was out there, masks on face, gloves on hands,
booties on shoes,
helping people buy and sell real estate. And I'll do it again, Darryl. Tariff war, trade war.
Damn it. I'll do it again.
State, I'll be out there and I'll be meeting them. And I'll say, look, there's no buyers. There's no buyers. I'm sorry, there's no buyers.
There's no buyers, but I'm here.
You need to sell. We're going to find you somebody.
You're like an F-150. You're reliable, right? TK.
I'm very reliable.
You're very reliable.
Okay? Well, I get the job done.
But it's weird. It's a weird environment right now because, everybody thought a while ago, not everybody, some people thought that when they cut rates that the market would take off again. And here we are, 7
Who thought that?
Straight.
Fools.
Who thought that?
Fools.
I thought that.
Why?
You thought that.
I wouldn't say that. I never said that once.
For sure.
I've been saying that the economy's crap and that doesn't matter how low rates are.
We're
if you don't
talking
got
a while
job,
ago, TK. 7 rate cuts ago. That's like a year. That's even more.
I don't
even
think I
more.
was saying that back then.
Well, I don't know what you were saying, but I know that I definitely thought that by now with all these rate cuts, and it did before the tariff fucking nonsense came into play, I feel like we were picking up steam. Maybe it's everybody I talk to actually feels like we were picking up steam, and now these tariffs have just kind of taken the wind out of everybody's sail.
There's a theory that Trump's doing this intentionally so that, the powers that be could swipe in and buy everything cheap.
Well, his son did put a post up on Twitter, like buy the dip or something like that.
Yeah.
But why would they do that? So that they can just make money on the dip? Is that your thesis?
I mean, think about it. If you got a bunch of people who are like, hey, we can't make money in this market, it's too hot. And he's like, well, hey, if we crash the markets, yeah, some people are going to lose money, but, get out while you can, and we'll, let you know when it's time to get back in. You never know.
I don't know. I feel
seems too well thought out.
No, I listen. I think
people
that I think that they know that a repercussion of their current actions will result in the market going down, at least temporarily, right? I think they're making the stance that they're okay feeling whatever pain they have to feel in order to transfer the jobs from one border to another, whether it's Mexico production, whether it's Canadian production, Chinese production. It seems like they're willing to go through all the pain and a recession, even Trump said, in order to do what they think they need to do. And if you look at it, yeah, the tariffs are going to fuck things up, but it's also going to force the local suppliers to ramp up production, right? It's going to force them all to ramp up production, especially if Trump actually sticks to his guns, right? Because otherwise, either the current people ramp up or new people come in or people from other countries move production there so that they can make money again, right?
Yeah.
And so how long does that take? A while. Like, I think probably years, right? And so what happens, right? What happens is that actually going to happen? I mean,
no, you know what? It doesn't even have to happen. think about it if you've got plans to open up something in Canada and that you're an American company. Do you really want to do that? Do you really think
No.
that that's
Now
going to
you're
be
like, fuck
worthwhile for
that.
you? Like you're just
Yeah.
like, hey, even though the tariffs might come off, maybe what I'll do is I'll just stay down here in the States and worry about, the
Yeah.
cross-border transactions later on.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of influences that this is going to have on people,
Right.
you
So,
know?
but I think the real question is if Canada is going to like puff our chest and stand up and say, we're not going to take this shit,
Yeah.
can we pivot properly so that we're okay? Right. Because it's not like we have a lack of stuff to
Listen,
sell.
Darryl, this trade war ain't gonna last.
It ain't going to
I don't care
last.
what anybody tells me about how little I know or how much they do know.
Okay.
Bottom line is our economies are way too intertwined. When this happened 100 years ago, like what were they doing? They were trading furs and some, steel plates. Like, come on. Like there was barely anything going over the border compared to now. There's way too many industries affected by this. There's way too many industries that'll just get clobbered if this continues. So there's no way that this trade war is going to happen like the way that everybody's fearing. Like it's going to be something that's going to be long drawn out. Each month, he keeps delaying certain tariffs. Yeah, steel and aluminum. How long were those tariffs in place the last time that Trump was in power? It was a good while, right? He had those tariffs in place for a
I
good
don't even
while,
know
and they
if they ever
renegotiated.
disappeared.
They renegotiated NAFTA, and it was history. So I think that this is something that I think will also be resolved. Doug Ford, God bless him. God bless him, for doing the things that he's doing. But
God bless them
also,
for what? Trying?
also, also, he's got to be careful,
Yeah.
right?
He just got
Because
bitch slapped in front of everybody.
right, you gotta have the the stones and the firepower to be able to carry through anything that you're doing, right? So for me, um, I don't know if it's the right move for him to be as aggressive as he's been.
Well, it backfired instantly, didn't it?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how long
Well,
they're
I'm
gonna
putting a
be.
tax on. No, you're not. Okay, I'm not. This is
Yeah,
basically what just happened in front of everybody, right? So
sure.
that's not good. So if we have no bite to our bark, TK, it's like
Mhm.
going into a negotiation where everybody knows you can't make the deal. Like, how the hell are you gonna make the deal happen?
Mhm.
Everybody knows you can't. Why are they gonna sell it to you? I've been in meetings before with giant groups on giant properties, TK. And I'll tell you, actually, that it was Don Mills in Eglinton. It was the Celestica site. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My uncle and a couple of groups owned this property. And I had a Chinese group called CIM. Okay. They
Okay.
were a giant Chinese conglomerate from China here,
Uh-huh.
doing all kinds of interesting stuff. And we were working with them. And I
Were they making
brought
any
them.
money, Daryl?
They're bankrupt now, bro. They're
Okay, they weren't
bankrupt. They're
making any
gone.
money.
They
Okay.
weren't making anything here, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, listen, when China went down during COVID, right? When China
Yeah.
went down, they went down here. Everything went bust. But what happened was we went into this meeting with a buyer who I thought, because I was naive and young, I came in there and I was like, these guys are willing to pay you whatever, $350 million. They want the deal and blah, blah. And we met with the owners who I've known like forever, right? And
Hmm.
my family's part of that group. Um, and we left the meeting and he called me and he says, I'm never going to sell to those guys ever. Like he just
Uh-huh.
knew, right? He just knew that they were not going to be able to do the deal, right?
Yeah.
And he went and sold it to Aspen Ridge for way less money than we offered, but to somebody who actually was
Was
going to
gonna
do the
close the deal.
deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's important, right?
Yeah. Mm.
And so we don't have leverage if we have no bark. If we're going to say we're going to add a 25% tariff and you call us and say we're going to kill your auto industry and we take off the tariff, like how's this going to go now?
Yeah.
Are you looking for the best merch store on the planet? Well, we got the shit for you. Coming in at low prices where we barely make any money off of whatsoever, you can get the greatest real estate merchandise on this platform. Just look at this very flamboyant man putting on this great stuff. He looks great, he's dancing great, and boy does he look sexy in that merchandise. I tell you, buy this for anybody, you buy this for yourself. You will be not only repping the greatest Canadian real estate podcast in this world, but you will also be looking hella good doing it.